FlossTube. My name is Shanda. I live along the Continental Divide in Idaho, although today I'm down in smoky, very hot southwestern Idaho. But I've been spending a lot more time up in the mountains. But while I have really good internet service, I thought I would do a FlossTube. It's been a long time, I know, and I apologize. But I have some fully finished objects. I have my whips. I have a few things that I got at a new quilt store in Boise the other day. And I thought it would be fun to look through my finished project roll with you. I haven't looked in this for probably a year, 10 months, maybe at least. So maybe even 8, maybe it was last Christmas. I totally forgot what's in here. So I hope we can look at this surprise package today. I know it has been a really long time, and many of you have checked in with me. I have been stitching, I have been gardening. I recently, with the help of my husband, put up an 8-foot deer fence. We have a lot of deer in the mountains, and I'm not going to be putting in a garden just for them to be munching on it. So that took a lot of time. It took a lot of expense. I hand stained 28 10-foot poles, 2 coats, and then I stained 1 rail, 250 board feet that went all the way around the garden. The garden is 100 by 50, 90 something by 50. So we'll just say 90 by 50. So that's 4,500 square feet foot garden. We put in drip irrigation this spring, and in the evenings I stitched. It just got way too hot for me to keep working out there. So, I'll show you what I've been doing. First of all, my 2 FFOs. I picked up way back in probably April or May, and I may have shown you this. I don't think I have, but we'll see. Saltbox Quilt Sampler by Brenda Gervais. Let me keep the glare off of it here. Pretty happy with this one. I did have this one framed at Hobby Lobby, and maybe it's just me. I can see a little bit of a wonky down here in this row of flying geese. So this was not the best of linen. I started this for Stitch Mania in 2020. So if any of you want to go back with me to May of 2020, we were just starting the pandemic, the lockdown. I was not prepared with purchasing a lot of fiber, linen. I was going to say floss, but that too. But this was stitched 1/1 on 28 count. I want to say it was just like a Charles craft. It was nothing special, but it is smaller. I should have put the tag back here, but see, it says Hobby Lobby. I should have written on the back, and I still probably will look up Charles craft linen, just a very open weave linen, 1/1 on 28 count. I showed this to a girlfriend who doesn't stitch, and she said, Shanda, do you realize you left out the J? Yeah, and also there's another letter that's missing. U, the U is missing. It's okay, right? We know better. Anyway, I love this. I have loved this from the moment it came out, and I'm glad I got it done. I think the only thing I changed was, I believe it was this barn had a different color behind that star, and to me it just didn't stand out. So I put white behind there. I think it's the same white as this one next to it. But I loved it. My next fully finished object, or FFO, is Plum Street Samplers. I think it's called French Woolens. But it said French Woolens up here, and I just changed it to wool. I've never been to France. I know the Olympics are going on over there right now. But I just wanted it to say wool. So I kind of changed it and put in these three things right here. But I love this one too, and this is just a thrift store frame. I'm gonna put some Minwax on this to kind of cover up the bumps and bruises right up here that it has, but I haven't quite got that done yet. But French Woolens by Plum Street Samplers. I grew up on a sheep ranch, so this one kind of reiterated life for me. And right now there's a lot of county fairs and state fairs going on, and it brings back memories of my market lamb project through 4-H. So French Woolens by Paulette at Plum Street Samplers. Okay, what have I been working on? Here's a little bit of a crinkle here. First of all, my homework is all caught up, and I'm up to date on my homework with my friend Christy from Daisy K's Primitives. Noel Sampler by Brenda Gervais. And I must confess, mine is not going to be this light. Mine was a kit I purchased from Country Sampler in Spring Green, Wisconsin. And they had it put together with the DMC, called for DMC. And it is on 32 count tin roof. It is the old Weeks tin roof. And I am struggling with it, but I'm working through it. And I'm so close to the end, I'm not going to redo it. Let me see if I can get this up here. The old Weeks is not real fun to stitch on. I will be the first to admit that. Let me see if I can get this up here without, I'm just holding a piece of cardboard behind it. But I definitely got some of a ghost alphabet going on over there. See if I can get it. Oh, can't really get it. But I'm just down to the deer in the bottom 2 months. But the rest is all done. My border matched all the way around. And I am so glad Christy picked this one for us this year. I don't know what we'll pick next year, but it's usually a Christmas sampler. Although I'm thinking I may propose at home. I don't know. It's another Brenda Gervais. But anyway, first I thought, oh, I just don't know if I want to do this on this dark color. I saw it in person at the quilt shop in Wisconsin when I purchased the kit. And I thought, oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. And then I started it and I thought, oh, I think I've made a mistake. But then I saw it 2 years ago, this last June, again in person, and I went, no, I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna struggle through it. So I am persevering with that one. I think we have August, September, October left to go, and Christy and I will have that one done. The next one I also started September of 21 with Christy from Daisy K's Primitives. It is, and mine is signed by Alma. For Shanda, our lives are stitched together. Wonderful to see you. Delicious Autumn was from a retreat in Missouri, September of 2021, where I met Christy for the first time. And I got this out because I thought, I started it, I want to finish it. We were given these wonderful little stitch cards. And here is my, it's probably going to fit in a 5x7 frame. The colors are just stupendous. Blackbird design, Delicious Autumn. I don't think I'm going to finish mine into the little bag. I think I'm going to put mine in just a 5x7 frame. But the leaves down there are all one thread color and they come out so variegated. They're just beautiful. The colors are just stunning to me. And I believe that one was called Cinnamon Twist. But anyway, there are the colors. There's the linen. It's going to be really, really pretty. Delicious Autumn. The retreat also came with, the kit also came with Fall Gatherings, which is a little squirrel. I don't know when I'm going to get that one started. I have too many things that I want to finish first. But there was enough linen, thread, floss to do both of them. So finishing kit, the whole bit. Okay, 2 more whips here. The next one is a floss ring that is on a floss ring that I made. It's just a Santa, so that gives you a clue. It's going to be a Christmas one. And I got these floss drop cards from a girlfriend. And these are all DMC. Little girl's stitching away there. This one is last year's Christmas release from Lori Rippey, The Holy Child. Whew, love it. I only have this middle portion done, and I started in the middle. That's why I'm gonna do this one and then come up here, do the border line, and then work my way back down through. But this one is, and I don't know, oh, see if I can take, oh, here it is. It is Seraphim's 36 count old stationery. This is a project bag I made. It's just some toile. And here is my progress so far. It's just the same. I just got the words done. But I hope to have that one done by Christmas. The Holy Child was sent for all mankind. 3 wise men did come to find. All our costliest treasures bring to Christ, our heavenly King. So my homework is almost done. I have July, what, 3 or 4 days? 2 days, I don't know, to finish 2 crowns. And then my homework for myself is all caught up. So Lori is an incredible designer, incredible colors. I'm not sure what the call for on this one is. Oh, Old Count Stationery by Seraphim. Yay! 36 count old stationery by Seraphim. So I am stitching it on call for. Lori, you always hit it out of the ballpark. And the last whip I am working on is a granddaughter request. She is my granddaughter that lives in northern Idaho, and she requested this. I am stitching this on 18 count Ada Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. She's 12. I almost said 11. She's 12 now. Tumbleweeds. It's a division of Little House Needleworks, but it's called Legendary Girls. And it says, I figure if a girl wants to be a legend, she should just go ahead and be one. And I'm almost done. These are really turquoise, brown, pinks. These are her colors. And she tends to be a little bit on the cowgirl side. But I figured it didn't need to be stitched on linen. Got the arrows done. I'm down to, there's a leafy vine thing on each side and 3 lines on there, and I'm done. I'll probably be done with this one before tonight. But Emma is so excited to have this in her bedroom. And you know, when those grandkids request something, you just gotta stitch it, right? You gotta stop the press and stitch what they request. So I have that almost done for her. Thought maybe I could get it to her before the start of the school year. She'll be in 7th grade. So she can have a little bit of incentive to have a good school year. Okay, before we do my project roll, my finish here, I just wanted to share a few things. Yesterday I went into a quilt store in Boise, and I had seen it several times, just never been in, JK Quilts in Boise. And I had my best press refilled. They do refills there. Let me get this all out so I can do away with the crinkle. I got my best press filled. I got a Charm Pack vintage linens from Three Sisters. You can always use these for backgrounds, or I'm thinking there's somebody going by really slow. Maybe backgrounds or on hexies, maybe. Wait, purchase that. Three Sisters Favorites Vintage Linens. Oh, glutton for punishment. I got a 4-inch, I love paper piecing, foundation paper piecing and English paper piecing. I'm kind of really getting back into my quilting now that I'm spending more time up in the mountains with my Gamel. I've had a lot of customers bring me their quilts or send me their quilts. I do have customers who send them to me in the mail. And I'm currently down, I think I have 6 on my rack up there, and I'm taking 3 back with me when I travel from southwestern Idaho to the mountains. But I'm kind of getting the urge to do something very meticulous for myself. And I've always loved the pineapple block. Now, the pineapple block is a quilt that I have to do for a customer, but I think that's what inspired me. These are 4-inch blocks. This is foundation paper piecing from It's So Emma. But look at these. I know I've got it upside down, but one pack of these makes 42 blocks, so I could do a 6x7 or just a 6x6. Pineapple quilt block foundation paper. I found these yesterday at the quilt store, and you can get these pretty much everywhere. I also made a trip into Maggie's, and I bought a few things here from her. Remember back probably, I don't know, 5-8 years ago, there was a ton of food fabric. There was tomatoes, there was potatoes, there was strawberries, there was all kinds of stuff. Well, I'm kind of working on a surprise quilt for next fair time. I am doing a quilt for my husband's, he collects stationary early day gas engines. They're the ones that you see most of the time at the fair, but they have a very unique sound to them. They're from like 1900 to 1915, 18, 17. They used to run wells or laundry machines or washing machines. They used to run a lot of different things, combines, windmills. They just used to run their antique stationary engines that have a very pop, 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 pop. You see them at the fairs sometimes. Our Western Idaho State Fair has a huge display of them, and he is over that event for the fair. And next year it is my turn to do a quilt, and I kind of have something in my mind, but I don't want to blow it right now. I want to see how it's going to turn out first. But I found some blueberry fabric. Anyway, it's kind of hard to find this food fabric anymore, and I'm kind of struggling, but I hope I have enough. I have green bean, strawberries, some cherries, potatoes, corn, peas, and now blueberries. So I'll just keep my eye out on the weathered horizon. Also at JK Quilts, I got, this is a piece from Kansas Trouble's new line called Chickadee Legend. Chickadee Landing. A nice background. I think there was about 1.5 yards left on the bolt, and you got a discount if you took the whole bolt. So I got that. And then the 2 pieces I got from Maggie's on Main is a quilt paint cross stitch knitting shop here in Emmett. And I went in, but they were frantically getting ready for a retreat, so I didn't stay too long. But I did find, This is a Be Basics by Lori Holt. I'm not generally a Lori Holt fan because her colors are a little on the bright side for me. But if you look at my Pinterest page, I have a saying there that says, be yourself. Everybody else is already taken, and it's by Oscar Wilde. Well, that's on here. Now I can't find it. But it is on here. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. And there's just a bunch of fun little different sayings on this, but I thought it's a fat quarter. Knock that over. It's a fat quarter, but I thought it'd be fun to make a project bag or something out of this. I just liked it. A knitting bag, maybe. So got that. And then the last piece I got from Maggie's looks like a shirting from, I love sometimes I think Moda, others, they put a fun little saying in the salvage. This one is from Three Sisters, Cascade by Three Sisters. That's the line. But the saying says, the fun little saying says, love is like wind. You can't see it, but you can feel it. So kind of reminds me of a shirting. That's my very favorite fabrics to collect are shirtings. I think Cheryl cut me 2 yards or maybe 1 yard and an eighth, 1 yard and a quarter. Anyway, kind of a shirting. Love it. It just feels so good. It feels so good. I do have to admit that when I was in both of these shops, both were very attentive to my, needs, and I looked around and I don't want to say I left with an empty feeling, but I went away with a feeling of I'm so full of gratitude for my own stash. I have so much fabric. I have so much fabric. And that's really what I bought here was stuff for my stash. And now I can't wait in a couple weeks to get back up there and start quilting for myself and maybe piecing something or working on those foundation paper pieces. But it was almost like I miss being in the mountains and I get to live up there now. So I get to quilt a little bit more. The last thing I want to share with you before we do my roll here is something that was clearanced out at Hobby Lobby. It's a Tim Holt, and it says collage paper, and this one happens to be photographic. Photographic is all it says, is photographic. Looks like a bunch of, I wish I had a name or a SKU I could give you. The SKU ends in 4319, but this is like collage paper. But look at these old houses. Look at the salt box right there. And then there's an older one right up here. And there's one down here. Let's see if I can see one. But it's very thin paper and it comes on this roll. And the whole thing was $2.99, normally $5.99. So if you live near a Hobby Lobby, you might want to go. This is back kind of in the scrapbooking aisle. I'll give you a whole repeat here. Here's the salt box house, and then here's the salt box house again down here. So let me put this up close. I hope you can see this. There's people, there's little sayings, there's some French sayings. This one right up here has a windmill that I just love. But I love that salt box house. That's kind of a fun thing. You don't see very many salt box houses out here. You see lots of log cabins. You see the house that I am in up in the mountains was a log cabin. And then in the early 2000s, they put that T-back stuff on it and put aluminum siding on the side of it with some dormers. So it doesn't have, it's not log anymore, but the walls are almost 10 inches thick. Very thick walls. So I guess I'm blessed. I can say I live in a log cabin, but I really don't. Okay. This was a project roll that I made for myself I don't know, a couple years ago maybe, made out of a mailing tube, and the new line of Blackbird fabric. But I have not opened it. And you know, you roll it up and you store all your, my word, you store all your finished projects in it. So let's see what I have here to FFO. I know this is Dear Santa or Letters from Santa, and I'm not gonna know the linen or anything I'm stitched on. I wanna say this one's Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. Oh, goodness. Stack them over here. This one, there's two. This one was a Christmas pin keep by Stacy Nash. And then on the same piece, but on the back underside, this was also, but all of a sudden I don't remember. I'll have to look this one up, and I'll put it across the bottom of the screen. So I have two Christmas pin keeps probably there to finish. This one was a Blackbird. I would say this was even a freebie, really small. Blue, variegated blue. I just picked a blue that I had on hand and did that one. Real small. Stacy Nash, in one of her early books, 1776 pin keep. And I do believe I changed these flowers from red to blue. Another Stacy Nash. Can you tell I love Stacy Nash? Ohio Farm pin keep. I believe Christy did this one too. Just look at that peacock. Just gorgeous. Ah. This is a menagerie. It's also in one of those Stacy Nash early pin books. I want to say Hollyhock Farm, or anyway, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with this. I think it needs something else right here. I know what it was. It was cut into the shape of a heart for a stuffed pillow. That's why there's nothing there. This one was from Punch Needle and Primitive Stitching, or the magazine anyway. Winter 2015, Christmas. And I was going to be just putting this into a long pillow, but I have some FFOing to get done. I've just kind of been busy with my gardening classes and getting my Master Gardener certificate, putting in fences and filling up flower bed, raised beds. I probably filled up 5 this summer. These next two are, I probably am not going to show them all because they're 2 birth samplers for my granddaughters, and I don't want you to see their birthdays and their full name. But they're both out of a Blackbird. There's a boy one called Sailing Home, and the girl one is called, I don't know. This one was for Emma. I've got it folded under here. I don't want you to see her birthday. And this one is for my Oakley. Oakley is more of a very feminine girl, so hers was done on just plain white. Oh, goodness. This one is probably 2 years old. I've done this one now a year ago, 2 years ago. Stitches with some friends, but I'm drawing a blank at the name. Well, that's part of the fun of doing this just fresh from my project roll. It has wool that you're supposed to put on for the flowers, but I just stitched the flowers. I didn't want to mess with the wool. Oh, help me out there, Sheila. I can't remember what this one's called. But anyway, done. Needs to be FFO'd. Brenda Gervais, With Thy Needle and Thread. Christmas at Winterberry Cabin, maybe? Does that sound right? Oh no, it's called Cutting Paper Snowflakes. Cutting Paper Snowflakes, right there across the bottom. And this was on a 36 count. I can tell just by the feel of this linen. This one is beautiful. I should take this one and have this one framed for this Christmas. They're getting bigger. And I do remember I spilt something right here. I got it wet, but I like it. I'm gonna leave it just like it is. Cutting Paper Snowflakes. And then the oh yes. Elizabeth Charlene. I have a lot of FFOing to do, don't I? I hope everybody is safe this summer. It's been a hot one all over the United States. Even here in Idaho, we have had record-breaking temperatures, and now we have fires. Miserable to go out during the day, very thick smoke outside. Try to stay inside as much as I can. But in the early mornings when there still is smoke in the air, it just seems to be a little bit lighter from the atmospheric pressure. I go out into the garden or I go out and do a few things outside. But for the most part, it's kind of been miserable, but there's always a silver lining. I know fall is right around the corner, and my girlfriend Nicole and I absolutely adore fall. I even love snow. I love snow. I love fall, winter, love it all. My least favorite months are July and August, when we're kind of right in the thick and thin of that, mainly because of the fires. But I hope everybody has been safe this summer. I hope that wherever you are, stay cool, stay safe, stay stitching. Enjoy the day for what it is. I once heard of a really good saying, and it is from one of my very favorite movies, Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskell. That's the author of the book. And I want to say BBC put out this movie. It's called Wives and Daughters. At the very end, Lady Harriet says this. She says, "You men concern yourself with the eternal verities, while we women are content to ponder the petty things in life." And we women are the more sensitive, the more intuitive of the two sexes. I appreciate all of you for giving me the opportunity to spend a little bit of time with you. I've loved all the comments. You have to take the good comments with the bad sometimes, and that's okay. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think bad comments existed. But I know there's 99% good comments out there that I get. I thank all of you for stitching, for knitting, for quilting, for doing scrapbooking, painting, whatever it is that you do, and for living the good lives that you live. This truly has been an inspiration for me as I hear from you through the comments, and I have received messages or correspondence from you. Keep stitching. I know I am kind of hit and miss on the radar at doing videos, but I do appreciate your comments. I also feel though too that I have a life to live. Sometimes I don't get a lot of stitching done. There could be a month that goes by where I don't get any stitching done, but I miss it. Just like when I was in the 2 quilt stores yesterday, I miss my surroundings up in the mountains, and now I get to go spend a little more time up there with my mom and help take care of her a little more, and be in my quilting studio and quilt more for customers, and just be in my happy place. So find your happy place. Please stay safe, stay cool, and stay hydrated. And I will see you mid-fall. Happy stitching. Bye-bye.